Combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra.
Hey guys, good morning.
Greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the BioStation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. I Will Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. I Will Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings.
Good morning, good morning. Oh yeah, we got a lot going on today. Oh man.
$35 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, you cut that one a little close?
Yeah. No, yeah. I just lost track of time. No luck finding those spots, huh?
No.
It's too bad.
I mean, if you could give me days, I may be able to look back.
No, like ancient. But I lost them when our computer crashed at the other place before I got this one. It's too bad.
It is. Benefits are available to you with offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale. Call toll free 1-855-FLA 3782. 1-855-FLA 3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now, here.
Hey guys, good morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. It's 5 minutes after the top of the hour. It's Thursday, October 7th already. Oh my goodness, and we got a lot to talk about. Oh man. You know, Biden, this is something that no one thought was ever possible. And what that was is to have a president worse than Jimmy Carter. Now again, I was a little kid when Jimmy Carter was president. All I remember are people talking about peanut farmers and the American hostages in Iran. Okay, I was in third grade when the hostage crisis happened, and I remember that. But and I do remember waiting in line for gas, and I remember one time I remember someone, I think it was my grandparents, were talking about that they were talking about handing out ration coupons for gasoline when Jimmy Carter was president. But my entire life, my perspective of that is from a young child, third grade, second grade, a blur, you know. But I've heard my entire life that Jimmy Carter was the worst president. And those of you out there who were of coherent age during that time, welcome to call in and talk about this. But I think, without question, Joe Biden is worse than whatever Jimmy Carter did. And I'm not the only one who agrees with that. Right now, Joe Biden is 2 points away from having the lowest presidential approval numbers of any president of the United States. So he is going to officially break the record of having a lower approval rating than Jimmy Carter. Yeah, that's amazing. I do remember Billy Beer. Yeah, Billy Carter, he was kind of like the Hunter Biden of the day. This is out of the Washington Examiner. In the worst showing since becoming president, Joe Biden's approval has fallen to its lowest ever. The public no longer feels his team is competent, honest, or led well. As the Biden administration struggles to recover from the bungled Afghan withdrawal, an inter-party feud over his spending and tax agenda, his approval is sunk to just 38% in the latest Quinnipiac University poll. The survey follows a similar pattern in other polls, including Gallup, that had him at a 43. Partisanship remains as strong as it was during the Trump era, they write. Independents are weighing in heavily against Biden, that's bad news, by 2-1. Independents disapprove of Biden 60 to 32%. The public appears to have lost faith in Biden's ability, according to the Quinnipiac poll. So 2 more points, which is sure to come soon. He will beat the record of Jimmy Carter and have the lowest approval rating of any president ever, which means officially declaring him the worst president ever. And that is frightening because we're only like 9 months in, 10 months in. I mean, we're not even a full year in. There's no end in sight. And he's got this lunatic, Janet Yellen, with him, trying to bring about a recession. Biden said yesterday if he doesn't get his way on all this budget business, and Yellen's backing him up, there's going to be a recession. What kind of president says that? Do as I say or there'll be a recession. Here you had, this is so typical of a Democrat. Here you had President Trump handed Joe Biden a perfect country. A perfect country. President Trump was able to keep us together during a shutdown, not just of America, but the planet was shut down for a long time, for months. Everything was total perfection. So Joe Biden and the Democrats have completely wrecked the American economy, and now they want all this money. They want all this money to fix what they screwed up, which they'll screw up in another month after they get what they want. And this is really a frightening time. They're wrecking our, this thing about Biden. Well, we don't have any money problems. We'll just make a $1 trillion platinum coin. You've heard this? $1 trillion platinum coin. And when I first heard that, I thought, wow, platinum's like about $1,000 an ounce. And my immediate thought was, how big would that coin of platinum have to be to equal $1 trillion? I don't know how much platinum there is. Platinum, I think, is 15 times rarer than gold. So I thought, wow, a $1 trillion platinum coin would have to be like the size of Broward County. And I was thinking about that. How would that even be possible? How big would that coin? Because 1 trillion, if I went to type in $1 trillion into the calculator, I couldn't just do that. I'd have to count the zeros to make sure I did. I've never, that's a big number. And it's a number that's beyond the ability of humans to comprehend in our minds. It's that big of a number. So I thought, well, how big would this platinum coin have to be? And then they say, oh, no. So they're not gonna take a trillion with a T. They're not going to take $1 trillion worth of platinum and make the biggest coin in the history of coins. They were talking about this. They said they were going to take a 1 ounce platinum coin and print and make a new, just one coin, and just put on that 1 ounce platinum coin 1 trillion. Can you imagine? That's Weimar Republic times infinity. And, everything that they are doing has very dangerous implications in every aspect of American life, not just the economy. A lot of people don't follow the economy. They just suffer through it and just hope things will get better. They don't follow the intricacies of what's going on. But declaring parents domestic terrorists, we got two big updates on that today, by the way, which I'll get into later on the program. And these other things that are going on, the uncontrolled immigration, everything that's going on here, we are in crisis mode. There is not one aspect of American life that Biden has not wrecked since he came into office in January. And Yellen is talking about this business with monitoring the transactions in the bank account, right? And when they were talking about this, I was like, okay, well, she's probably going to walk this back a little bit because it's scaring people. And what she said is no, she like quadrupled down on it. And if they start monitoring, I was very surprised to hear that because, Jesse Waters was talking about this on the 5 a couple nights ago, and he said, I'm not worried about that. He said the big banks have huge lobbyists in D.C., and they'll be lobbying members of Congress, and that's not going to happen. And then Yellen comes out yesterday and quadruples down on that. And if they start doing that, I'm not an expert on these things. I don't know anything about the economy. I listen to experts. I'm not an economist, but that doesn't matter. That Biden and the Congress people aren't either, and they make decisions about the entire economy each and every day. But people say if they start doing that, there's going to be a rush to take money out of the banks. And I was telling you this will be like It's a Wonderful Life when everyone went to George Bailey's bank and wanted money. There's not enough money in the banks. This is what caused the Great Depression. Was when people went to the banks to withdraw their money. And the banks had to close because they didn't have enough money. And in 1929, that was before the digital age. They had more money, adjusted for inflation, of course, et cetera, et cetera. Banks in 1929 had more money than today because everything's electronic. How much business do you do in cash? I do everything on Apple Pay, pretty much. Money's digital today. And if people start going to the banks for their money, the banks are going to run out of money faster than you realize. It's going to cause a Great Depression, scaring people like that. And I'm starting to think that they want that. Because if you remember, I know that sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy. But if you remember, this country has been a socialist country for a long time. We've just been in denial about it, and we've tried to slow it down as much as possible. But this country became a socialist country the day that FDR became president. FDR brought in all of these huge programs that led to the Great Society in the 60s and the war on poverty and all of that, which turned this into a welfare state. By the way, President Roosevelt, the hero of the Democrats, the icon of the Democrats, black people were excluded from the entire New Deal pretty much. It only benefited white people. That's how racist the Democrats are, for those that don't know. So maybe they want to wreck the economy so that I'm serious, maybe they want to cause another depression. Biden says yesterday, if you don't do what I want to do, there's going to be a recession. So when there's a recession, it's not his fault. It's because we didn't bend a knee. It's because of Sinema and Manchin. But maybe they want a depression so that they can come in with another great society. Because there's a lot of radical revolutionaries in this crew of incompetence around Joe Biden. Now listen, we're going to take our first break of the day. Got a couple of announcements involving the show that I'm going to make coming up. All good stuff, don't worry. And we got a lot of subject matter to get into today. But I want to hear from a lot of you on the phone. We've been hearing from a lot of great callers lately. Thank you so much. I do enjoy your participation. We'll take a break. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Indeed it is. On the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back after this.
It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier insulation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking in your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew, were very, very polite. And they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed. And my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new duct. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex duct, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought it was.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is quickly approaching. Make sure you get the right coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. It is 20 minutes after the hour. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's K-A-N-E, and the number 1. And I want to remind you guys, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, I've talked to so many listeners, including Steve Kane himself and others, who have had that insulation added into their attic, which reflects the heat out of your attic. Your attic. You ever been in your attic during any time of the day of the year? Oh my goodness! I store things in my attic, not as much as I used to, because I went up there to retrieve them, and it's I go up in my attic and instantly I am soaking wet as if I had jumped in the swimming pool. That's how hot it is, just pure sweat instantly. And what he does, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, that reflective insulation he puts up there takes that heat out of your attic, and that heat in your attic not only heats your ceiling up, causing your house to be warmer throughout the year, but heats up your air conditioning ducts, and that air inside the AC ducts, that AC has to pump harder and harder to cool that air because of that heat outside the ducts. Now, no matter where you are in Florida, give him a call. He's been helping a lot of our listeners outside of the South Florida area. So no matter where you are in the state of Florida, give Scott from Cut My Kilowatts a call, all right? 954-939-1500, and ask him how he can save you big, big money on your electric bill. 954-939-1500. Richie the bus driver has this in his attic. 954-939-1500. Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. No matter where you are in Florida, give him a call. All right, now we got a couple of announcements today. Good announcements about the Steve Kane Show. One, we have a brand new Steve Kane Show website, SteveKaneShow.com. A brand new website, SteveKaneShow.com. And I made that website. It took me a little while. I'm not a web builder. That's not my area. The website is not completely finished, by the way, but it's partially finished. But SteveKaneShow.com, a brand new website. If you go to SteveKaneShow.com and our old website comes up, which I've basically, that's because you got to clean out your cookies and everything in your computer. Your computer's pulling up the old website. But the new one, I think you'll like it a lot, especially when it's completely done. And it's a big update. The other website, frankly, was embarrassing. It was really good when we put it together. When the internet was first went online. But it's been a while since we've had an updated, modern website, and this one looks pretty good. And I'm proud that I did it. I did it. But anyway, SteveKaneShow.com. Go check it out, the new website. I appreciate it. I put a lot of time into that website, so I'd appreciate if you'd go to it and look at it. And there's links there to all of our social media, including Steve Kane's Facebook page. There's a Steve Kane Facebook fan group. There's a link to that, my social media, and everything else. SteveKaneShow.com, brand new website. Okay, so Biden's working with Janet Yellen to cause a Great Depression, to come in with Great Society 2. And Merrick Garland is saying those who oppose critical race theory are domestic terrorists. And some huge news came out yesterday that really should force his resignation. You want to talk about a conflict of interest? My goodness. This is reported in many places. Let me just read this out of the Gateway Pundit, though, because I love the Gateway Pundit. And now this phrasing, this is the Gateway Pundit, not mine. I love it. It's very good, but I love it. Listen to this. Biden's corrupt Attorney General Merrick Garland announced he was going to target parents around the country who oppose the critical race theory and were speaking up about it at local school board meetings. Critical race theory promotes anti-white racism. Well, it turns out that Attorney General Merrick Garland's son-in-law is making lots of money selling the books that schools use to teach critical race theory. His daughter's husband, that means his daughter, they make boatloads of money on the textbooks for critical race theory. Conflict of interest, and if you don't want to use the textbooks, you're a domestic terrorist? Don't you think it's time for Merrick Garland to resign and maybe be investigated? This is some hardcore corruption. This and charged with something. Yesterday when we were talking about this, there's more, I'll get to it. I didn't know about this. I don't think many people did. This broke yesterday. And I thought he's just a left-wing Marxist who's pissed off that Republicans, conservatives, opposed him being on the Supreme Court when Obama nominated him, and this is revenge. And there may be a tinge of that, but the big thing is he's setting his family up. He is making it a criminal offense where you will be designated a domestic terrorist like Tim McVeigh, okay? Like Tim McVeigh, if you do not want the books that his family make money on in your kid's classroom teaching critical race theory. I've heard, this is government corruption worse than anything Biden has even done. If you think about it, isn't this worse than what Biden has done? The conservative treehouse reported on the connection between the Attorney General and critical race theory teachings in schools. This is what the conservative treehouse wrote. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland recently instructed the FBI to begin investigating parents who confront school board administrators over critical race theory. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a memorandum, that's his agency, to the FBI instructing them to initiate investigations of any parent attending a local school board meeting who might be viewed as confrontational, intimidating, or harassing. Attorney General Merrick Garland's daughter, Rebecca Garland, in 2018 married Zan Tanner. spelled Xan. By the way, he's not Chinese. He's a white guy. I think, at least in the picture I've seen, I think he's a white guy. Attorney General Merrick Garland's daughter, Rebecca Garland, in 2018 married Zan Tanner. Zan Tanner is co-founder of a controversial education service company called Panorama Education. Panorama Education is the social learning resource material provider for school districts and teachers that teach critical race theory. So his daughter's husband's company make the textbooks and the lesson plans for critical race theory. And if you don't want to buy the books that his son-in-law makes, you're a domestic terrorist. Fox News reported on the connection between Garland and his son-in-law's sales of critical race theory books. This is Fox News. Attorney General Merrick Garland is facing fresh scrutiny for his ties to a company that promotes the type of content parents are opposing in their ongoing battle with local school boards. A hot-button issue that Garland has recently targeted for investigation at the national level. This is Fox News. I'm reading from. Merrick Garland has declared a war on parents. Azra Nomani of Parents Defending Education tweeted Tuesday this: his daughter is married to the co-founder of Panorama Ed, which is under fire for its multi-million-dollar contracts with school boards. The New York Times reported in 2018 about the connection. This is, and I was thinking about this on because I saw this yesterday. I was thinking about this on my way in this morning of a public official in the federal government who did something as corrupt as this. This is the most corrupt thing any public official has ever done, what Merrick Garland did. If you don't buy the books that his family sell, you're a domestic terrorist. My goodness. My goodness. Guy should be arrested. What are your thoughts on that? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike in Louisiana. Oh, I was going to wait till later, but it just popped in my mind, so don't go anywhere, Mike in Louisiana. Okay. Yesterday, in the last hour of the show, I don't remember at what portion in the last hour, I got a call from Juan. And I hope you're listening, Juan. Please, I hope you're listening, Juan. Juan called in, and he was talking about something or other. I don't remember what he was talking about, but he had, I think, whatever device he was listening to me on in the background, he had on. And I'd asked him to turn it down. And a lot of times when I don't have a call screener here. People know we have Rich Allen. He's down the hall at the radio station control room, and he could screen the call. But we take our calls screenless. I answer the phones oftentimes while I'm talking to callers on the air. And while I was talking with him, I was answering some other lines, and I disconnected him. And Juan got very upset and sent me a lot of text messages on my cell phone, none of which I responded to, and they were not pleasant. And he said some very terrible things. But Juan, I hung up on you quite by accident. I just didn't make a thing out of it when it happened. So you should have called me back and talked to me instead of sending me this long list of very rude and nasty text messages, not only during the show, but after the show too. It was pretty bad. So telling me I don't want to talk to callers who have an IQ higher than mine, and some other things too. But sometimes that happens. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that before I forgot. Mike in Louisiana, what's up?
Not much. Think about this. You just read that story about the corruption with our so-called Attorney General. let's go back to 2015 when the Supreme Court justice died in office, and Obama put him up to be that replacement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't. And how were they playing him then? Straight arrow, law-abiding citizen, centrist, right?
Yeah.
That's how they were playing the guy. And we didn't even know about this corruption.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he did. What did he do before? Did he used to be a judge? Okay, this guy, I didn't know what he did before Obama nominated. I got to tell you, and I mean this. If you have an example of corruption greater than this, and remember, this is what Garland did this week. If you do not want the books that his family's company make and sell to the school districts, you're a domestic terrorist like Tim McVeigh. And here's the thing. When they're talking about that, they're talking about every school district in America. I don't even know if we could put a dollar sign on how much money that is. It's like that, you know what I mean? And that's money that comes in forever and ever and ever. And when he made you a domestic terrorist for not wanting to make his family very, very wealthy, beyond whatever wealth they already have, that's hardcore corruption. They should look back at his court cases when he was on the bench, because this guy is dirtier than a mafia boss.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They made a big, huge deal about that seat being stolen from him, and
on the Supreme Court, yeah.
Yep, yeah, and being a new illegal appointment where they should have voted for him anyway, and all this stuff, and it's like okay, well, if that's so important to them, then...
Well, you know what I'm wondering? Mitch McConnell led the charge to not have a confirmation hearing for Merrick Garland. And for those that don't know, in the last months, I don't remember at what point, but in the last year of his presidency, Obama nominated Garland for the Supreme Court, and Mitch McConnell would not allow confirmation hearings to take place. And McConnell is not a stand-up guy. He's a corrupt public official himself, right? But and a never Trumper and everything else. But maybe Mitch McConnell knew something about Garland, because he's obviously a corrupt guy. Maybe Mitch McConnell knew something about Garland, and that's why he didn't have the hearings. Maybe it wasn't just because it was Obama's last year. Maybe there's scandal there. I don't know.
Yeah. What's the famous question? What did he know, and when did he know it?
Yeah, exactly.
When did he know it?
Exactly. All right, listen, I got to take a break, Mike in Louisiana, but I appreciate the call. All right, good caller there. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back to the phones after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on
Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Hey guys, listen, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody in the chat room, could you please like the video? Liking the video helps a lot. Okay, when you like the video, what it does is it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to people that like this kind of content, and that helps me out a lot, and it helps President Trump out a lot too, right? Absolutely, those likes are very, very important. I mean, this is the MAGA radio show of record in America. There's no one's a bigger supporter of Trump than we are here.
by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Search for
Hey guys, we're back. 37 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Not South Florida, Florida's longest running radio show. The Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Coral Springs.
Hey, Jeff.
The thing that's really kind of interesting is how many people in this administration have done something already, and it's only like 9 months in, that should be terminated. You know, you have people in the State Department, you have people in the Defense Department.
I would say go with...
It's crazy, you know, I don't know.
Are you at work? What's going on in the background?
I'm sorry, something just happened with my phone. Sorry, Brian.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, no. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, with what he's talking about. A lot of people in this administration have done a lot of things. They have, and there's been a lot of moral crimes, but there have been, and if you have others, let me know what they are. But I'm going to tell you 3 crimes that have been major crimes, federal crimes committed under Biden's watch. If you have any others, please call and let me know. Now, the one we're talking about now is the most recent. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, if you're just tuning in, remember we were talking yesterday that parents opposing critical race theory were to be investigated, classified as domestic terrorists by the Justice Department. That's Merrick Garland. And what we find out today is that his son-in-law, his daughter's husband's company, is the producer of the books that are used in classrooms to teach critical race theory. And if you have it in every school district in America, it's got, I don't know, how much money could that be? It's got to be in the billions, right? I don't know. Textbooks are not cheap. They're very expensive. So that's hardcore financial corruption. The guy should be arrested. There are 2 other crimes that came to mind, and they're separate crimes, although they conspired with one another. Speaker of the House Pelosi and Joint Chief Chairman Milley. It came out a few weeks back that they conspired in a treasonous coup of the country. Really, they deposed President Trump, took control of the military, and they conspired to do it. So those are 3 hardcore crimes right there. Where's the media? Where's the media? And, you know, this thing with Merrick Garland, notice Bob Woodward didn't do the normal interview circuit that he would do, did he? No, he did not. He did not. Book got kind of swept under the rug there a little bit. But this story with Merrick Garland, he is the top cop in America. He is the top law enforcement agent in America. In America. And this is a level of corruption that is greater than any other corruption that I've ever heard of. And just mentioning the story as if it's a humorous anecdote, oh, well, now we understand. Pretty outrageous. No, conservatives, because the left aren't going to do this, conservatives need to talk about this story. I'm going to go through this story every hour on today's program because people need to hear it. People need to hear it. All right, so I told you we have 2 announcements about the show. The first one is our brand new website, SteveKaneShow.com. It is not completely finished. I'm still working on it, but it's a pretty damn good website. I built it myself with the help of the web builder. But I did it myself, and this is not my area, doing website stuff like that. It's not my area, so I think I did a pretty good job. And we've had a lot. We've had SteveKaneShow.com website. It's SteveKaneShow.com. That's the new website. It's a great website. Go and check it out. Now, that's the first announcement. The second announcement, and Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot is going to call in, I think, later in the show today. And we're going to get into some more details about this because we're already making plans. There's been an exciting change involving the Steve Kane Trump 2022 MAGA cruise in January, and this is what the change is. And I was told by Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot this was a possibility some time ago, and it happened yesterday. And this is great news. Okay. Now, we're going on our 9-day MAGA cruise in January on the Celebrity Equinox that's been totally remodeled and refitted out of Fort Lauderdale. January 21st we leave. 9 days. We leave on a Friday. We return the following Sunday. My daughter's coming with me. We're going to have a great time. And you guys are going to love it. Those of you that are already joining us, you're going to love it. And you're going to love this change. And if you've not already made a reservation, this should do it for you. Okay. So we leave out of Fort Lauderdale. We're going to Curacao and Bonaire, which are beautiful. They made Love Boat episodes about those two. And Aruba, which I've always wanted to go to. Never been to Aruba. And our fourth stop, the Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman Island, which we went to on a previous cruise. I always wanted to go there, and it was pretty cool. Well, it's been changed. We are no longer going to the Cayman Islands. We are no longer going to Grand Cayman. We do have a stop to replace it, though. Get this, the Celebrity Cruise, they changed it. We're now going to Jamaica. So we've got these incredible, we're going to Jamaica, which I've always wanted to go to. Never been to Jamaica. We're going to Jamaica and Aruba and Bonaire and Curacao. So the Cayman Islands has been replaced with Jamaica. And I was talking, he's going to call later. We'll talk more about it. But we've been talking about excursions, and I told him I wanted to go, I don't know what it's called, but I want to go to that, I want to take a group tour to that famous waterfall they have in Jamaica that I see in all the movies and everything. Now, listen, the ship, because of all the new rules and everything, is only going to have half the number of passengers that it normally has. So we basically got our own ship, a charter on the Celebrity Equinox. We got an incredible deal on the prices of the cabins. Very good deal, because we set this up during the height of the pandemic last year, when everything was shut down and no end in sight. And Ian and I talked. We said, let's do it. We'll get a good deal. We got a great deal, and you are all invited to join us. So now we're going to Bonaire and Curacao. We're going to Aruba, and we're going to Jamaica. And we're going to party like it's 1999. This is going to be a great time. It's a great MAGA cruise with MAGA people that you will love. We have dinner together every night. We have a lot of shipboard activities planned. You'll be hanging out with me and Steve. Steve's bringing a mystery lady with him as his. Well, we'll get to. You'll have to go on the cruise to find out who. But Steve's bringing a mystery lady with him. I know who it is, but you know, you guys will be excited on the cruise. You'll have a good time. And, of course, we're planning shore excursions, and one of them is definitely going to be in Jamaica. I got to see that waterfall. So call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. If you've not already booked, call him and make a reservation and join us. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. If you already have a reservation, give Ian a call too, okay? Those of you that already have made reservations, because we've been making a lot of plans on the cruise, and some of them involve your input, all right? So let's go to the phones. Good morning. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name?
My name is RJ from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, all right. Sometimes I'm about to take a break, right? I'm like about to take a break, and I say, you know what? It's break time. I'm late for the break, but there's someone, they've been hanging for a long time, so let me take them, and, you know, and it's always a mistake. It's always a mistake. You didn't hear them, but I did. All right. You already know my team. All right, listen, let's take the break that I should have taken instead of that call. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back after this.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the BioStation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the BioStation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier installation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for her, put radiant barrier and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew were very, very polite, and they did the work at a very difficult.
How many of you? Tell me in the chat. When I say we're going to party like 1999, what is that reference to? Just write what you think. We're going to party like it's 1999. When I say that on the cruise, what's that a reference to?
And let me tell you,
Let's
I was
see.
very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex stuff, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to
No idea. Wow.
The old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant
Millennium,
barrier into your
2000,
attic,
00.
because what it does, it cools off your ceiling,
Prior to
cools
2000.
off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner
Steve Kane Show.
Less
Hold
to
on.
keep your house
Princess Cruise
cool
Lines.
and comfortable for you, which
Cocaine.
means you have lower electric
Y2K.
bills. It works.
See, it shows everyone's age. No, it's Prince's song, 1999. Is 1999 on Purple Rain? I'm not sure. The best concert I ever went to was a Prince concert. No, not Y2K. Oh man, during the break, I was talking to people in the chat room, and I'd asked people to tell me what they thought when I say we're going to party like it's 1999. What is that a reference to? And people Y2K, the millennium. I'm shocked. It shows your age when people think it's that. No, it's not that. All right, listen, we are back. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll free call from anywhere. If you're just tuning in, we have talked about a lot so far today. Oh my goodness! And I want to mention one more thing before we go to the phones. University of Colorado Hospital System denies woman's life-saving. Let me say that over again. I'm slurring my words. This is a bottle of water, not vodka. University of Colorado Hospital System denies woman's life-saving kidney transplant. Will no longer provide organ transplants to unvaccinated patients. Okay, this is not about this debate, because I saw a lot of people talking about this yesterday. This is not a debate about the vaccine. Okay? This is a debate about medical ethics. denying transplant, a life-saving kidney transplant if someone's not vaccinated. The last time that now off the top of my, if you're on hold, stand by. There were 2 transplants in the past that were controversial. This is the 3rd transplant, and I think one involved a liver. At least one involved a liver. One, I can't remember what organ it was. But this is the 3rd time that a transplant case has made the national news and has become a controversy. Unvaccinated, no life-saving transplant surgery for you. The other 2 times, one, if memory serves, James Earl Ray, who's the assassin of Martin Luther King, got a transplant in prison. And people, this guy, he's a murderer, he's in prison, he's doing life, he killed MLK. He shouldn't get the organ, somebody else should. That was a debate, he got it. And then there was another one that was a big one, and this involved Mickey Mantle, the baseball legend Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was getting a liver transplant, and he got bumped up to the list pretty fast. And the great Mickey Mantle, of course, was a lifetime alcoholic. And there was a major debate in this country at the time. People forget, been a long time. I'd forgotten about it too till this. There was a big debate about whether or not Mickey Mantle should get a liver because he had destroyed his through alcohol abuse. And he got his liver. And the way that organ transplants work, and I know people that have gotten organ transplants through my wife's condition. A lot of people that have my wife's health issue get lung and heart transplants. And my wife has even been on an organ transplant list, but she's stable now. She wasn't stable back then, so she's not on the list anymore, but she could be put on it on a dime if she had to. But organs for transplants go to people, they go to people who need them the most or they're going to die, regardless of whether or not it's James Earl Ray, who assassinated Martin Luther King and is in prison for life, or Mickey Mantle, who destroyed his liver through a life of alcoholism. And this is the 3rd controversial organ transplant, and this is just not right. Organs go to people who need them or they're going to die first, not who doctors think is more deserving, not who a hospital thinks is more deserving. Because where are you going to go when you start going down that slippery slope? Oh, well, this person's 35, this one's 65, the 35-year-old's got more years ahead of them, we're going to give it to them. No, this is not right. This is not right. And oftentimes, people that get transplants have done things like Mickey Mantle that have caused their condition. That's not how we do it in America. At least it wasn't. This is unethical. This is Mingala-like stuff here. Mickey Mantle, he was on death's door. He's at the top of the list. Give him the liver. That's the way it works. We don't give organs based on the fact of whether or not a doctor or a hospital administrator thinks that they're a good person or did the right thing. I'm sorry. It's just not right. If someone's in a car accident and they don't have a seatbelt on, do they not get an organ over someone else because they didn't do something to make themselves safer in the car? I don't think so. Is that the country you want to live in? Maybe you liberals, it is. Our number, I want to hear what you think about this, because this is hardcore stuff. And this is not about the vaccine, because this has been a long time thing that's been going on in this country. But I want to hear what you think about where medical ethics are going in America when there's a story like this. And that organ transplant, my wife, when she was on the list, had the beeper and everything. It's scary. We knew someone that had an organ, they had heart and lung transplant. They were in the room waiting for the organs. The organs came in and they had pneumonia. The lungs had pneumonia and then they couldn't do it. Can you imagine? It's a scary time. This is a whole new country we're in right now. This is not the America we were in October 7th of 2020. This is Biden's America now. And it's you know what it's like? This is like the world that it's literally 1984. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey, Richie.
I got to tell you, for the listeners out there that are going to go on that cruise, they're going to love Jamaica. And it's not you looking at the falls. This is great for you because it's a challenge. At 55 years old, I went up to the top. And at 65, I went up to the top. And about, I would say, 50% of the people that try it don't get to the top. It's a challenge. You walk up the rocks and you have guides take you up the rocks.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's really very unique, beautiful.
Well, that's good. I'm looking forward to it. I've seen it in all the movies.
Oh, you're gonna go up with your daughter and you're gonna say, oh my God, it's a challenge. It's like I can't even explain.
Well, I can't wait.
Of this and like I said.
Uh-oh, the line went dead. Did they get to Richie? Uh-oh, Earth to Richie. Oh, Richie's line went dead. I hope he's okay. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, Brian. This is Sandra from Boca.
Hey, Sandra.
I just heard your thing about the transplant, and I'm just in awe of what you just said. So a person can't get a transplant based on their vaccination status. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's a particular person who's being denied a transplant by the hospital because of it, yes. University of Colorado's hospital system denies woman life-saving kidney transplant. Will no longer do transplant on those who are not vaccinated, is the story.
I understand them wanting to give her a COVID test maybe before the transplant or whatever, but I just kind of don't understand the logic in that. I don't know what one thing even has to do with it.
Well, you know, my wife is getting a procedure done in the hospital soon. And she's been putting it off because of COVID, and I don't want to say where it's at, but it's coming up. It's not today or anything, but we both have to be tested. But nothing beyond that, and it'd be probably PCR test, which I'll get at any lab test now with Boca. They have same day PCR testing. But yeah, this because we're talking about life and death here. We're talking about life and death here, and those story like that story with James Earl Ray and Mickey Mantle, and I'm sure there may be some other high profile cases, but I remember the Mickey Mantle one in particular because Mickey Mantle. You know, I mean, he spent more years drunk than sober probably, and his liver transplant was needed because he destroyed his liver, and people said no, you know, you're right, morally, yeah, I see what you're saying, but that's not the way we don't give transplants to people because we don't like their lifestyle, and Mickey Mantle got his liver.
Do you remember Larry Hagman?
What was the deal with Larry Hagman?
Larry Hagman got a liver transplant like very quickly when his liver was destroyed.
Oh, from drinking?
Yes.
Well, the way that it works is it's done by need. It used to be a different system years ago, but you know where you banked time in to get your transplant. But the way it's now is it's by need. At least it's supposed to be. You know, and if you're on death's door, you get the organ, regardless of who you are or your background or how you lived your life. So, you know, Larry Hagman, between his smoking and drinking, you know, okay, I love Larry.
But now it's like coming down to if you're not vaccinated, now these hospitals have the decision whether to deny you a transplant.
Well, it also is, this. Colorado is pretty left-wing, right? Pretty left-wing place. Basically, what they're saying, it's a little more sinister than that. No transplants for MAGA. No transplants for Republicans. That's what they're saying. It's a political decision.
Where do we go from here then? What else is this going to lead to?
Well, that's right.
then where are we going next?
Well, I'm sure they would take it the way things are going with critical race theory. I think they would bring in race into it. Shouldn't an African American who's had to deal with the pains of things they never experienced get it before a white person who had nothing to do with past transgressions in the world? Yeah, they would. Yes, this is, and I'm not. I don't like to. I'm not like Alex Jones and Glenn Beck. I'm not an alarmist. I'm not, and maybe it sounds that way sometimes, but I'm not. But when everything, I was talking about this on another issue, everything in this country really is by precedent. Once something is done, that becomes the way. That becomes the way it's done. And this is the most, I never thought I'd hear something like this in America. We don't like you, so no life-saving organ for you? What the hell is that about? What?
People are being censored on the internet.
Everything, exactly. I know. We're in Biden's brave new world. And I got to run for a break. I'm a little late, but thanks for the call. 2 minutes after the top of the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection.
Steve Kane Show.
Extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction, made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. I Will Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. I Will Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running.
Hey guys, make sure you like the video. Sorry, I was just reading a couple articles.
Call the show toll free.
1999 was its own album? Okay.
Cocaine 1.
Yeah, what else was on 1999? I can't remember.
And now, here's Steve Kane.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. It's 6 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We have a brand-new Steve Kane website, stevekaneshow.com. If the new website doesn't come up and you get the old one, you got to clear out your cache and everything in your computer. Your computer's pulling up the old website, but we have a brand-new, cool website, stevekaneshow.com. I built this website myself with the help of the web builder, but I did. It wasn't easy. This is not my area, and I did this on my own. I didn't even tell Steve until it was done because I wasn't sure I could do it. So I didn't want to tell Steve I was working on it in case I couldn't do it. And the reason I did it myself is over the years we've had different web design people, and they're all flakes. They're all flakes, and they all disappear, and then you can't access the website. So stevekaneshow.com, brand new website. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, holy heck, you've missed a lot. And let me do a quick recap of what we've been talking about. And then I'll go to the phones at 1-888-GO-CANE-1 because there's, I think, 3 topics we brought up in the first hour. And I'm just going to go through them quickly. The first one, new Quinnipiac poll out, approval rating of Joe Biden. Joe Biden is 2 points away from having the lowest approval rating of any president in history, beating Jimmy Carter, which means he's 1 point away from tying Jimmy Carter. This is amazing. This is amazing. Yeah, that's the he's worse than President Carter. Who thought it could be done? The second one is a big one. That's just a little personal satisfaction that there's awareness out there. The next 2, though, are not just fun stories of satisfaction. They are crazy stories. The first one, this one's a big one. This one's a big one. The Attorney General Merrick Garland. Now, yesterday we were talking quite a bit, as was the rest of America, that he criminalized parents who are opposed to critical race teaching in school. And Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, and the Justice Department were classifying parents at school boards opposing critical race theory as domestic terrorists, which is what Tim McVeigh was, or the Olympic bomber. So if you oppose critical race theory in your child's school, you are the same as the Olympic bomber and the Oklahoma City bomber. We find out today that Merrick Garland's daughter's husband, his son-in-law, is co-founder of the company that makes all of the textbooks teaching critical race theory in the schools, which means they would make hundreds of millions of dollars, if not in the billions. I don't know how much it would be. If every school district in America is doing it. So Garland has declared people who don't want his son-in-law's books in the classroom as domestic terrorists. Could you imagine? Have you heard of anything more corrupt? That is more corrupt than anything Biden has ever done. He should be thrown out of office immediately and investigated, charged, arrested. That is hardcore corruption. And then the third topic we discussed in the third hour, and I want your comments on all of these at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. The third topic was this. Out in Colorado, a woman is being denied a life-saving kidney transplant because she's unvaccinated. And I was talking about now, what they're really saying is no transplants for MAGA. No transplants for Republicans because they think that's who's unvaccinated. They're wrong, but that's what they're doing here. And this is a death panel. I was talking about, it used to the way the transplants used to work is you got on the list and you banked time, and it was done by how long you've been on the list. And then it was changed to an as needed. Whoever is on death's door gets organs first. This is different. If we don't like you, no life-saving organ transplant for you. We're in a new place now where I can't even really grasp how bad it is. All right, our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's K-A-N-E and the number 1. Numerically, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, Richie. All right, hurry up, Richie, hurry up. If I knew it was you, I wouldn't have taken you first. But go ahead, finish up.
I'm sorry. Hey, listen.
One call per day.
It's called Panorama, the company, and they have 25% of the business with this critical race theory all over the country. And this dirtbag attorney general, thank God he's not a Supreme Court justice. This guy literally tagged, 150 million American people as domestic terrorists.
Mm-hmm. And the amount of money his family would make off of the critical race theory textbooks, hundreds of millions personally, billions of dollars overall, and it would be endless. It would be an endless stream of money. This is the most, and I'm telling you, this is more corrupt than even Biden has attempted. And I was talking, Richie, in the first hour about this, and Mitch McConnell opposed having a confirmation hearing for him when he was appointed by Obama. Obama nominated him for the Supreme Court in his last year, and McConnell, people thought was being a stand-up guy and wouldn't have the hearings. Maybe McConnell knew how corrupt Merrick Garland was, and that's why he didn't have the hearings. They need, he was a judge. They need to go look back at his cases. That is so. I mean, that is. To call someone a domestic terrorist that doesn't want to buy your family's books, that is frightening.
Americans to divide this country over race is a gross, disgusting thing, and his son is proud of it. His son-in-law and his daughter, and they were getting $7 billion, $7 billion as companies general.
Did you say billion with a B? Yeah, and how much of that would go to Garland's daughter and son-in-law? Plenty, and how much goes to Garland? Yeah, exactly, because we all know that these politicians, what they do is they have their kids and in-law and son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws and everything connected to all these companies, and that's how they make money. So yeah. Now, and I want to ask you this. Now, I'm serious about this. If you do not want to buy the textbooks from his family's company, classifying you as Tim McVeigh or the Olympic bomber, domestic terrorist, is this not even more corrupt than anything Biden has done? Yeah. Hey, Richie, that phone's going out again. I don't know if you're walking the dog or you need a new one, but I'm going to move on. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Listen, Brian, the reason, you and I went separate directions is, let me ask you a question. Do you support vaccinations?
Well, I'm vaccinated. I think everybody knows that. My wife and daughter are vaccinated. Well, obviously, if I'm vaccinated, but I'm not supporting forcing anybody to do anything.
You were given an option: get vaccinated, or won't you get vaccinated to save your life and have an person say no to?
It's none of your business. What is your favorite food?
I don't know.
Steak. Okay. So you need a heart transplant one day because your heart's destroyed from years of eating red meat, and it's caused cholesterol and plaque and caused other problems. Should you not get the organ because you led a life that wasn't, healthy?
If I ate steak, by the way, I moderate my...
No, you get the point. You did your mock crap in law school.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this question. If someone said you need...
Well, you didn't answer my question, so why should I answer yours? I'm not going to answer... Why should... You didn't answer... You don't answer questions with questions, attorney.
I'll answer your question.
Judge, the witness is being non-responsive.
No, my decision... That's good.
Listen. The example I gave in the first... There were two other organ transplant stories that were controversial in the national news. Mickey Mantle and James Earl Ray. Mickey Mantle needed a liver transplant, and he got it. But people stood up and said Mickey Mantle shouldn't get the liver because his entire life he was an alcoholic and destroyed his liver. And people said he shouldn't get it. And others said, well, I understand what you're saying, but we don't have death panels in America. We give organs based on needs, not because of someone's lifestyle. So you know, Mickey Mantle, should he have not gotten his liver? Should someone who wasn't a drunk have gotten it instead?
I think it's as need. But when you're not willing to go that far, Brian, this person, let's put it this way, turn the tables around. Let's say your wife needed life-altering surgery, saving surgery, and they said either get the vaccine or don't do it. You know what she would do? She'd get the vaccine.
Well, yeah, and you know, but you're missing the point. Yeah, you put a gun to someone's head, do what we say or die, you'll probably do what you say. I mean, there have been people that have done terrible things. You ever read the Rape of Nanching? You ever read The Rape of Nanching? You know, the Japanese, oh my goodness, I had to read it in college. You guys should read it. It's an awful book, but it's a true story. The Japanese, you know, when they took over Nanching, China, in the Second World War, and they made sons and fathers have sex with their daughters, mothers, and grandmothers at gunpoint, or they would die, and they did it. So, and it's the Rape of Nanching. It's a terrible story, but it's a true story, and the name of the book is The Rape of Nanching. But just go read the Wikipedia so you can find out more in 5 minutes. But when somebody has a gun to their head, they'll do a lot of things. But that's not how the healthcare system in America works. If someone's a smoker, should they not get a lung transplant ahead of someone who never smoked?
Listen, these healthcare professionals, do you have any friends in the healthcare industry, nurses or doctors?
Of course.
Do they tell you these nightmare stories of COVID deaths that they're in?
This is not about the vaccine. No, this is not about the vaccine. No, I'm not off anywhere. I'm on topic. You're off topic. This is not about... I'm hosting the show. I decide what the topics are. How can I be off topic when I'm excuse me, I'm the maker of the topic. I'm the maker of topics. I can't be off topics. My job is to bring the topics up. Get off the phone. That's just stupid. I'm off topic? Gee whiz. This is the deal. This is not about the vaccine or the efficacy of it or anything. Okay? This is about a shift in American culture that we're going through right now. And there are people every day who go into hospitals that have need for life-saving treatment and transplants and may be responsible for what led to that need. Right? And just because we don't approve of a decision someone made, we don't deny them life-saving treatment. If you're in an emergency room and you have 2 gunshot victims come in, one's a cop and one's the bank robber that shot the cop and robbed the bank. Both are gunshot victims. Which one gets treated first if there's only one doctor? It's the bank robber or the cop that shot him. It's the one that is in most need of medical care. We don't treat one because we don't approve of the other one personally. And I know these are extreme examples, but the extreme examples are needed to make the point. It's not about how you feel about the vaccine. It's about how you feel about the kind of country we want to live in. And I know it seems crazy that you would treat the criminal over the cop if the criminal's closer to death, but that's the way it is. We have a full board of calls. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. I'm buying time to get to the right commercial. That's why I'm talking so fast and funny. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I am MyPillow slippers at Mike Lindell. These
Steve Kane Show.
are the most comfortable slippers I've ever worn.
Hey Gary.
And you can get
Steve Kane Show.
50% off at mypillow.com.
Hey
with the
Andre.
promo code Kane,
Steve Kane Show.
K-A-N-E. One of our listeners
Hey.
called in on the air and told us about his experience with the MyPillow My Slippers.
Brian, I have the MyPillow slippers, and I have neuropathy. These are fantastic slippers.
Really? Which ones do you have? Which style do you have?
The fur-lined one.
Oh, the slip-on fur-lined ones?
Yeah, inside, outside.
What is neuropathy and what are the symptoms?
Well, the nerves in your feet start going bad, and it affects your balance, and it's painful.
So you're wearing the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, 40% off with the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, and it's helped with your neuropathy.
Yes, it is. It's much. I have to wear slippers at home. I can't go barefoot or even with socks on.
Wow.
So I have to wear that. And I also have the MyPillow pillow and the MyPillow mattress topper and the.
That mattress topper is unbelievable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh,
My
man.
wife loves it.
Oh, man. I know, they're all great. Yeah, I know. And by the way, when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, 40% off the MyPillow slippers, 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with it. So it's great. Well, that's awesome. Order your MyPillow My Slippers 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Or call 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Hey guys, and don't forget, go to mypillow.com, click on the television specials, you heard me right, television specials, using our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Get the MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. This is an incredible deal. All size mattress toppers from Twin, Queen, California King, Split King, RV Queen, every size there is, you can get it 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. The same mattress topper I sleep on each and every night, 50% off. But you've got to use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And again, that's the television special section at mypillow.com. All right, to the phones we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, Brian. This is Joan. And I just want to say that I feel like we are in a civil war because it's like.
Figuratively, no, we're not. You don't want to. We don't use such terminologies and things. I'm sorry, guys. It's you feel No. We're in a cultural war. There's no doubt about that. Good morning, Doug.
Somebody in New York that had terminal cancer, but he had a bad heart as well, and they gave him a heart transplant. Now all of a sudden, we're not going to give transplants to conservatives and Republicans and Megan.
That's essentially what they're saying. Yeah, that's Biden's America.
This is America, man. Unbelievable what's going on. And then the Garland character. I mean, how the hell is that guy be a judge? This guy is crooked as Biden maybe worse.
He's the top law enforcement officer in the United States.
Unbelievable. How the Biden crime family. This is
this story with Merrick Garland is far more corrupt than anything Joe Biden could even dream of doing.
Yeah. Well, at least that we know about.
No. Yeah, well, this is pretty bad. I've never known. If you don't want the books that his family sell, you're a domestic terrorist. That's hard to beat that one.
And I'm telling you something. Well, I spoke at the Board of Education meeting, and so did my wife. And she got together with a couple of the other ladies. And they're talking about it, and some of the ladies are caving into this worry about being domestic terrorists.
Well, that's scary to people, yeah.
This is really terrible what's going on. I don't know how we're going to fix this, but, Biden's not going to do anything. Biden's going to say, he's one of my guys. Okay, let him do what he wants to do. We got to get...
Well, I don't know. This story came out yesterday late. I hope... there should be a... Let me tell you. If Fox News can take a break reminiscing about themselves, okay, with their 25th anniversary, maybe they could start demanding that Garland They have Justice Department press conferences daily as well, and whoever that is, that should be carried live, and this should be the question out of every reporter's mouth about this. We're in new territory here.
We better, our Republican Congress and Senators better get this guy up in because this is terrible. But then again, we get what we get. We got this corrupt society now and government, and we better all get out and vote. This better be the awakening call.
If this doesn't wake people up, I mean, I thought yesterday, when we were talking about Garland yesterday, I thought, well, he's just some radical Marxist lunatic who's pissed off at conservatives for stopping him from getting the lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court, and he's trying to get back. And while there may be some of that, the main reason is this was a way for his family to be set up financially for generations to come.
And then, of all things, it has to be critical race theory. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right. Hey, Doug. Appreciate the call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Wisconsin Gary. How's it going?
Oh, well, after hearing what's going on now, I mean, Greg, too, is really being obtuse, and he really filibustered your question after you had him with facts and logic about the state. He really turned the tables after that. But,
Well, excuse me. No, he did not turn the tables. He attempted to turn the tables and failed. If he turned the tables, that means he would have won the argument.
Yeah, well, he doesn't ever win the argument on most times because using that fake or the stake example, that really just knocks him down because he tried to change the subject on it, but you already had him.
Yeah.
I mean, with this wokeism that's going on, and then all of a sudden people not getting the organs that they need, what is it going to be next? That all of a sudden, people don't want the organs from somebody that's been unvaxxed? Or somebody might not want an organ that's from some...
No. It's not about donations. We're not there yet. Maybe we will be. But no, it's about not getting the organ because of your status. Yeah.
But I mean, the way this is getting, it's like, all right, well, what if healthcare decides, let's say something, Joe Biden goes in and needs a liver. Oh, well, we can't give you a liver transplant because of how you progressed our country, It's really going to be...
That's right, yeah. That's the slippery slope. That's what happens. And how long is it before blacks are put ahead of whites for life-saving organs?
Exactly right. It's because somebody might come into the hospital and like, well, I ain't gonna blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden that person ends up dying. Is there going to be lawsuits after that? Or is there just going to be, swept underneath the rug and nothing's going to be done?
Mm-hmm.
So, we are coming into a very dangerous world, and I don't remember if it was on Polo or what, but 2022 and 2024 are going to be the most extremely important elections that have to happen, and for the future to come. People need to go out and stand up, be united, and vote with your conscience, not just because of a Democratic. You've got to think what's going to happen with our children later on down the road.
Yeah. And what's scary to me is this story about the transplant lady. To millions of Americans, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. That's okay. They don't even see what we see here.
Right. What if that would have been their family member?
Yeah.
Been, the same way. People don't think about that. I think about all my friends, my family. It's like the pain they got to suffer to go through that.
Yeah.
How the world's going to turn out.
Maybe we should. There's always a shortage of organs. Maybe we should take organs from people we don't like they do in China.
Yeah, I didn't really want to bring up China about like that, but
Yeah, the organ harvesting because.
Yeah, China's harvesting organs left and right, even from the Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Against their will.
Mm-hmm. This is not. We're not blowing this up. This is not in theory. This is happening. I've seen the lady on television. It's happening. This is happening. Yeah. Take care, man. All right, you take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. Oh, hey, Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Yeah, now Ian is our travel agent for our Steve Kane MAGA cruises, and I made the announcement in the first hour, Ian, because I couldn't contain myself. But Richie called in and had a really good thing about this. Now, this is amazing what is happening. Now, our Steve Kane 2022 MAGA cruise, 9 days on the newly refitted and remodeled Celebrity Equinox out of Fort Lauderdale, January 21st for 9 days. Originally, we were going to Bonaire, Curacao, Aruba, and the Cayman Islands. And we'd been to the Cayman Islands before, and because of the conditions of the world, they've changed one of our destinations. We are no longer going to Grand Cayman Island. We're going to Jamaica. And I'm very excited about this. Because, and we got to have the shore excursion to that waterfall I've seen in all the movies, Ian, in Jamaica. We've got to.
Dunn Falls.
Is that what it's called? Dunn Falls?
Dunn Falls. This is a really exciting change, and you and I have talked about this for a while, that Grand Cayman may not decide to open up to international cruise travel again, and I see it as a real positive.
Now, this waterfall that in Jamaica that we're going to go to, I mean, it's going to happen. It's been in all the movies, all the music videos, and all I've always seen. And Richie, the bus driver, called in, and he said what it is you climb to the top of the waterfall, and it's kind of like a competition to see who can make it to the top. I'm going to make it to the top. I know I'll make it to the top. But I'm very excited. So we're going to Bonaire, Curacao, Aruba, and Jamaica. So this is the time to really book. Now, how many people are going to be on the ship, Ian?
The ship is going to have around 1,000 people out of 2,850.
Okay, usually there's 2,850 passengers. There's only going to be 1,000. So we're going to have our own private cruise on the Celebrity Equinox. We're going to be living like Trump with a massive private yacht, the Celebrity Equinox. And we're going to have, we got a lot of shipboard activities planned for the group. We're definitely going to do a shore excursion to the famous Jamaican waterfall. We're going to plan another excursion at another destination. A lot of onboard activities. We have dinner together every night, and all of our tables, of course, are on the window, as we always have if you've been on our past cruises. This edition of Jamaica, I am more excited about this one than any of our other cruises, Ian. We're going to Aruba and Jamaica, which, and Curacao and Bonaire, but and it's a bargain basement price because, we set this up during the height of the pandemic last year. So if you have not already made a reservation, call Ian this morning, lock your spot in there, and join us. This is Ian's number, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Those of you that are already booked, Ian and I are making some, you got to call Ian. We got some, we're making plans, and some of them involve your necessary input. So everyone who is already booked and going, give Ian a call, so we, we'll work out all the last details with you all. I mean, this is exciting, Ian. Oh, man. This is a cruise like you will never experience. The Celebrity Cruise is a luxury cruise line. I've been cruising since I took my first cruise at 18. I've been on many, many cruises. And once we went on Celebrity, I was hooked, because this is a luxury cruise line. You're going to cruise like Trump. And with only 1,000 on board when there's usually 2,850, and with these stops, it's amazing. So here's Ian's number again, 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk soon. Okay, take care. You hear that, guys? Okay, we'll finish. We got to take a quick break, and then right back. Don't go anywhere.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires
Steve Kane
at
Show.
Friendly Tire and Margate, where they have all the
Steve Kane Show.
like Goodyear and Firestone at
Yeah, hold on.
discount prices.
Steve Kane Show.
Absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires.
Oh, hey, Andrea, hold on. I'll take you next.
The other shops, $75 a tire. At
Andrea's next.
$75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices
Black livers matter. Oh my gosh.
Charges. Friendly Tire has a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell
Black
him what you
livers
drive,
matter.
and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back 37 minutes after the hour. I just got a text message from Al Knight. You know Al Knight, he does the show on the weekends with Dr. Lemaski, 11 a.m. on our radio stations. And about this, the transplant thing, and he sent me this text, Black livers matter. Yeah, that's right. And, if you know how to spell livers, it's got live in it. So black livers matter. That's correct. That's correct. All right, let's go to Andrea. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Not too good. We have a corrupt attorney general who's attempting an act of corruption unheard of before. Death panels in America. Joe Biden 2 points away from the lowest approval rating, beating Jimmy Carter. That's good news. But the other thing are frightening. These other stories.
I think Joe Biden is way. I think Joe Biden is tanked. I think the polls are fake, because anybody who's even remotely sane, which is not a lot of Democrats or liberals, you can't deny what's going on unless you're willingly denying it.
Yeah.
But what you're actually seeing is the beginning of federalized medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the federal government dictates, and now the doctors are just going to break their oath and be like, well, if you're MAGA, we're not serving you.
Well, Dr. Matez, I asked him about this a couple weeks back. Dr. Matez, our anti-aging doctor, he was on the great doctor, my doctor, great guy. And I asked him if a home intruder came in to kill him and he used his gun at home and shot him in self-defense, is he obligated as a physician to treat him? He says not only is he obligated, that he would face penalties, including lawsuits, criminal charges, and medical license review boards if he didn't. Think about that. This case, and I know that sounds crazy, but medical ethics are now being written by Dr. Mengele in America, apparently.
Well, exactly. It says that it's a parallel, right? And it's what you and I talked about a couple weeks before, which is it's a death panel, right? So they're going to decide who lives and who dies.
That's right. Well, you were a liberal back in those days. You've told me before. You're a recent convert, to the real world. But the real world, that's a Matrix reference, the red pill, blue pill. In 2010, when Obamacare was being debated, conservatives, we said this is death panels, and liberals would say, I don't see a part in this bill where it says death panels, and they don't say, okay, this is a death panel and we're going to kill. The way the system works is a death panel. When you have federalized health care, the whole system is. And I'm going to give you an example that I used to talk. We haven't heard these. Remember the stories of people that were dying on wait list in the VA a few years ago? Okay, I had a theory back then that I talked about back then, and this is a death panel. When you go to a federal agency, which is the VA, the majority of people that you see working there at the front level are black Democrats. And I noticed that the people that I saw in the news who either didn't get surgery or something, or a family member was talking about a dead veteran in their family, they were always white. And I was wondering if the liberal black appointment setters at these VAs were putting white people at the bottom of the list to get treatment with the doctors. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's a good theory to investigate and an angle on that crisis. And that's what we're getting here. The reason they're doing this in Colorado is because they think the woman's MAGA. It's not about health. It's about they think she's MAGA.
None of this is it's no longer about health, any of this. But I'm going to address Greg too for a second. Because I'm just shocked and amazed. While I'm shocked, it doesn't surprise me that he's all about coercing somebody into submission. Meaning, if you don't take the vax, he's totally okay with people being denied medical care. It doesn't surprise me about that. And the second thing is, since he's so obsessed with having a radio show, go out and get your own radio show. Then you could say whatever you want. You could stand on that moral high ground.
I love how Greg too tells me I'm off topic. I'm the maker of topics. So how can I be off topics when my job is to bring up the topic and discuss the topic? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine what it's like working for that guy? I feel so sorry for his secretary.
I'm sure he goes through them like water.
I bet he does. I bet he does. Oh man, they just don't come back one day, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know till lunchtime.
Well, yeah, exactly. I would piece out of that as soon as I got the big lecture.
I'm sure he'll call us tomorrow and tell us his secretary's been with him for 20 years and she loves him and they take good care of but a BS story. I'm sure we'll get a BS story.
I'm sure I'll still be Roseanne Barr, and you will just be a delusional radio.
That's right. All right, Andrea, take care. Thanks for calling. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah, my name is Pete. How you doing, Brian?
All right, what's your name?
It's Pete.
Steve?
No, Pete.
Pete, okay.
To tell you, I got complete kidney when I was 20 years old. I waited first for about 5.5 years and finally got a kidney transplant. Then I lived for about 9.5 years till my second kidney quit, and then spent 7.5 years and was given about 8 years to live. I lived through it, and I see what's going on now, and definitely that was during the Obama administration, and I see what's going on, and I'm absolutely, completely mad about this. I can't believe your wife's going what she's going through. I can't believe whoever is going through the same thing, and it absolutely just makes me...
Well, the one example, I try to use real-life examples, and I remember it was a big national, I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but the story with Mickey Mantle's liver was a big deal, because Mickey Mantle, now the organ transplant list was different then. That's back in the days when you banked time. Today it's done by medical necessity, but Mickey Mantle got a liver in like 5 minutes, so, there was something going on there, But people said, though, that he shouldn't have gotten a liver because he caused his own liver damage from alcoholism. That's absurd. People get treatment based on need in this country, not because we don't like them or approve of their lifestyle. And you people on the left that are advocating for this, one day we could have a Pat Robertson evangelical type leadership in the government, and they may say gay people may not get transplants because they don't approve of their lifestyle. Where would this end?
will end soon, I guarantee.
Well, okay. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning.
Yeah, what's your name?
Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
You know, Schnitzmer, he had a saying that would beat the censors.
Yeah, he's got issues. But, you know what makes him an interesting caller is his dysfunctional personality, right? If he wasn't so dysfunctional, he wouldn't be interesting. I like his calls. He challenges me and my positions. But, I'm so right on everything. It's hard to win an argument against me because it's just, everything I say is just so logical. You ever heard of sarcasm? Hey, someone's got to promote me, right? Who else is going to do it?
That's true.
All right, Jerry. Take care, man. Take care. All right, now, guys, I got to tell you about this incredible special at MyPillow.com. The great Mike Lindell, the Thomas Edison of sleep. If you start seeing them call him that in his national advertising, you'll know it came from me. The Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, he's changed my life. That MyPillow mattress topper has changed my life, okay? And, I got that mattress topper in April. I've been sleeping on it ever since. And, we got the mattress topper because my wife was having some back issues. We got a pretty new mattress. And we got the mattress topper. We used the promo code KANE, of course, for the incredible deal, K-A-N-E at checkout. And we got it on a Saturday. We immediately made the bed with it and slept on it that night. And we woke up the next morning. I woke up for the first time in years, except when I've been drinking a lot, like on the cruises, okay? But that's not sleep. That's just passed out. I woke up for the first time on the weekend after the sun came up. On the weekends, I typically wake up 4 or 5 in the morning. It's dark. I woke up and the sun was out. I couldn't believe it. My wife, she woke up, her back pain was gone and hasn't returned. And during the week, I wake up when my alarm goes off. I always woke up before my alarm. For years. Any of you do that? No more. I sleep the whole night through because of the MyPillow mattress topper. Now, this makes a great gift for yourself. If you already have one, you know what I'm talking about. But this opportunity, this incredible deal that the great Mike Lindell is offering listeners of the Steve Kane Show, this is a great gift. We're in Christmas shopping season right now, people. So go to MyPillow.com. Comes in every size, from twin and up to California and split king, and every size in between, including RV Queen. Okay? And this is a deal that will disappear without notice when they start to run out of mattress sizes. It's available in every mattress size right now, but this deal is so good, these are going to go like hotcakes. So go to MyPillow.com. Click on the television specials. You heard me right, television specials. Our promo code works on every special at MyPillow.com. They did that for us. They don't do that for everybody. They did that for us. Click on the television specials and you can get the MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. It comes in a nice box that you can wrap, and whoever you give it to for the Christmas gift, they will have no idea what it is until they open it. And this is a gift that they will remember and enjoy for years to come. The MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off. But you've got to use our promo code at checkout, KANE, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
It's here, the hot weather. It's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier insulation and making sure that none of your air conditioning.
Now, listen. I just pinned a comment that my wife put in there. My wife has a Brian Craig Show Facebook group, and that's the link to it. So make sure you follow that group. All right, join the group. Well, there are not My Pillow undies, but there are My Pillow pajamas for men and women. You can get those with our promo code Good Deal.
They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex duct, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your air conditioner works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, and no matter where you are in Florida, give Scott from Cut My Kilowatts a call. We've had listeners from other parts of the state of Florida call him and have that radiant barrier installed in their home to lower their electric bills. So no matter where you are in the state of Florida, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. And I've talked to a lot of people that have this radiant barrier, including Richie the bus driver who has it. It works wonderful and it lowers their electric bills. 954-939-1500, no matter where you are in Florida. And that number rings directly to Scott's cell phone. All right, Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour, and I'm going to share with him these really, these stories. We'll go back, but I want to get into some of the sound bites I have right now. Psaki with Ducey yesterday. Psaki was talking about classifying parents as domestic terrorists to oppose critical race theory. Listen to this exchange.
Thanks, Jen. A week ago, the National School Boards Association wrote to the president to say that their teachers feel like some parents protesting recently could be the equivalent to a form of domestic terrorism. And then the Attorney General put the FBI on the case. So does the administration agree that parents upset about their kids' curriculums could be considered domestic terrorists?
Well, let me unravel this a little bit, because the National School Board Association is not a part of the U.S. government. I'd point you to them. What the Department of Justice said in a letter from the Attorney General is that, quote, threats against public servants are not only illegal, they run counter to our nation's core.
Oh.
That is true. These were threats against public servants, threats against members of the school board. Regardless of the reasoning, threats and violence against public servants is illegal. That's what he was...
That's not what he was talking about, and we know it. What she does a justification. If you oppose us, you're this. Now this one, the audio on this is not too good, but I'm going to play it. Tlaib was busted about why she wears a mask. Let me play the... I did pop up the audio so you could hear it better.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, yeah, he's the one unmasked guy.
Because I got a Republican tracker.
Okay, and I know that's hard to hear, but what Talib said is that she's wearing a mask because there's a Republican tracker following her. So she only wears a mask because this Republican guy's trying to get a picture of her without it in public? Wow. Busted. But you know what? Someone like Talib, it doesn't matter what she does, no matter what she says, she'll still get, she'll get a free ride for the rest of her life. One last one. This is Don Lemon on CNN yesterday talking about the need for more censorship on social media.
Well, Facebook always says, well, we walk a line between, letting people, the free and fair flow of information. There are ways to do that. We figured out ways to do that.
Big difference.
Most people in legacy media.
Big difference.
Not everybody in legacy media. Because there are people and propaganda networks in legacy
I can
media
tell you look a lot thinner.
and don't face enough consequences. But
You lost a lot of weight.
15?
15? That's it? It looks like you lost a lot more.
Company, especially legacy media and traditional media. There should be, they should face
I did this mainly my cholesterol.
and they should be regulated.
It helps with cholesterol.
And at the very least, what you put on there should be true. And if it's
That's
not
the main
true,
reason.
then
All right, well, thanks a lot. I appreciate
John
it.
Lemon, thanks for getting up. It's always great. Also,
Oh yeah, it's always great. It's always great when you come in here and talk about the need to censor and take the First Amendment and throw it out the door. This is the thing where these Democrats are so short-sighted on everything. All right, they're so short-sighted because they're in power right now and they're in charge right now. They think this is fine. They don't understand. They're not going to be in power forever. Eventually, Republicans will be back. Do you want Republicans decide? One of the biggest fake news stories of the week is this whistleblower from Facebook. She's not a whistleblower for Facebook. She's working with Facebook. Don't you understand? She thinks there's not enough censorship. This woman is being treated as if she's Project Veritas's James O'Keefe with one of his whistleblowers. This is not that. Now, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Steve Kane will be joining us, and I'm going to recap the stories of today after the break. Okay? I'm going to recap the stories after the break because we got huge stories. We'll get back to your calls, and after I recap these things with Steve, I want you guys to call in and share your thoughts. We've got two big stories, and then we got one that are just tragedies, and then we got one that is some good news. But the other ones, we're in Biden's brave new world here, people, and it's very frightening, very frightening. Our number is toll free from anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Third hour begins now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This segment of the Steve Kane Show is brought to you by I Will Advisors. Seniors, medical open enrollment is approaching. Do you know what Medicare options are available to you? Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080, and she will answer all your Medicare questions. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable And one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesouleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's...
All right, third hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve joining us. You there, Steve? All right, a lot of crazy stories today, though.
Go by that Biden and his campaign and his administration doesn't screw up big time. It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
Yesterday's the one I would point to is this Marine that had the guts to stand up and say that he believed that somebody should take responsibility for the screw up, and it was a massive screw up in getting out of Afghanistan, and they're making a martyr out of him, and the country is now starting to rally behind the Marine.
Yeah.
It's another one where Biden picked a fight that he's going to lose. He never wins. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, this story with Garland is huge, Steve. Okay, this is let me recap this story for people that are just tuning in. I went through the whole thing in the first hour. So yesterday, we didn't know the new edition yesterday. This came late in the day yesterday. But yesterday, we and the rest of America were talking about Garland said that if you're a parent and you oppose the teaching of critical race theory in your child's school, you're a domestic terrorist like Tim McVeigh or the Olympic bomber. Pretty hardcore stuff. Well, this is what we found out. His daughter's husband, his son-in-law, which means him, but his son-in-law is co-founder of the company that makes the textbooks that are sold to the public schools to teach critical race theory, which is hundreds of millions of dollars that the Garland family would make on the teaching of critical race theory in the public schools that have to go through the school board approval. So he obviously is classifying these people as domestic terrorists because they're getting in the way of his family's money-making scheme. Yeah. He should be immediately be forced to resign, investigated, and arrested. That's the most corrupt thing any public official that I can think of has ever done in this country.
It's outrageous, but the important thing is how it is handled. Is the administration...
It's new. This is a news story. This is breaking news. The
question is, are they going to treat him like Hunter Biden and let him get away with it, or are they going to take action?
I don't think he'll get away with this in the long run. This is pure speculation, this next part. But he was I guess he was a judge before. Remember when Obama appointed him to be on the court? And McConnell is the one who's responsible for him not being on the court. He wouldn't have confirmation hearings, remember that? And who's calling you while you're on the radio? Doesn't everyone know you're on the radio? Someone doesn't know. All right. You guys are supposed to call Steve on the air, not off the air on his cell phone. Oh, okay. That's the Los Angeles baseball team? I'm not sure. Are they in Brooklyn? I don't know. I don't know. That's... Well, this is I lost my train. We're talking about okay. McConnell opposed the hearings for him, in the Supreme Court. And it was very unusual. It was in Obama's last year, very unusual, especially for McConnell to be a stand-up guy. And what I'm wondering is there other corruption this guy has been involved in that McConnell was aware of, and that's why he stopped the hearings from happening? They need to look at this guy. This guy is dirty. I mean, this scandal, if you don't buy the product that my family sell, you're a domestic terrorist, that's more scandalous than anything Biden has done. You know, I mean, that's pretty bad.
People are starting to stand up and bring all these things back. The press is covering things for a change, which is nice. And you know what it all goes down? It all comes down to that poll numbers. As Biden collapses and as it becomes less and less popular, more people, it gives them the courage to stand up and to make issues of things that otherwise they might be intimidated about.
Yeah.
And he's in, I love this expression, this is a Hannity expression, he's in free fall.
Mm-hmm.
Drive.
Well, he is the new polls. Joe Biden is 2 points away from having the lowest approval rating of any president in history, lower than Jimmy Carter, which means he's 1 point away from tying Jimmy Carter. Think about that.
What the scary thing for him is, it's not going to stop. That's what they mean by free fall. There's nothing there to stop it. It's going to keep going down. The bottom is come out of you ever pick up a box or something filled with stuff and...
Yeah. Well, there they are again. I think you're being trolled. I think someone's... Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's take a call or two. There's more to share and recap, but let's take some calls first. Our number, 1-888-COCAINE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio. Oh, hey, Attorney Barry Siegel. You caught me off guard, Barry, from the Siegel Law Group.
Great, guys. How you doing?
Attorney Barry Siegel. You caught me.
Excellent.
Good.
Exciting times.
Yeah. Happy Thursday, and just a few planning concepts I was going to talk about today. Just number one, it's just really better to have a plan than to have no plan. And a lot of times people get stuck because, oh, well, I know I need to get my estate planning done, but I don't know who I want to name as the guardian for our kids. I don't know who I want to name as my power of attorney or trustee. The thing is, if you don't do it, if the situation arises where there's incapacity or you pass, then somebody else will end up making those decisions for you. So better to have a plan where you choose someone. You could always change it and update it, but it's always better to have a plan than no plan. Also, you want to make sure that you have a plan that's going to work when you need it to work. And that's why it's so important to have a plan to update it. And that's why we call our clients to come in every 3 years for a free review, because we want to make sure that their plan is going to still be up to...
And listen, when you mention you heard them on the radio, you get a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. And the number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. And Barry, tomorrow, since it's Friday, we should talk quite a bit tomorrow about your workshops at the end of the month. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk tomorrow. Have a great day. Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Thanks for calling, Barry. Okay, great. Now, we also have some personal announcements I've been announcing all day. One is the brand new SteveKaneShow.com website, which is a beautiful website. And I did this website with myself, and I'm not a web guy. And it looks pretty good. It's not completed yet, but it's almost done. But it's completed enough, let me tell you, to look good. And I didn't even tell Steve I was doing it until I had it ready to go online, because I didn't know if I'd be able to do it, because I'm not a web design guy. And our old website was pretty bad. It was really embarrassing. No, I learned a new one, but the old website was really bad, and I was I was looking for a web design person, but every time we've had web people in the past, they're always been flaky and disappear on us. You know, like remember the one guy, his wife left him, and then our website crashed, and he wouldn't fix it because he was grieving over the wife that left him. And you know, these web design guys are, you know, so so that's why our website lately hasn't been the best. So I put together this new website, and there's you'll see some pictures of Steve, pictures of me, pictures of us together. And again, it's not completed yet, guys, so bear with me. But check it out, SteveKaneShow.com, the new SteveKaneShow.com. Okay, so that's one story. But you know, this story, Steve, there's others, but this story with Garland, what he did this week was say that direct the FBI, and you know, the FBI now is introducing critical race training among the agents, But he said this week he ordered the FBI to investigate parents opposing critical race theory at their local school and school board, classifying them as domestic terrorists, which again, that domestic terrorist is Oklahoma City and the Olympic bomber. Okay? That's domestic terrorism. That's how hardcore. And then we find out today that his family owns the company that sells the critical race training textbooks to the schools of America. That's hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even billions. You know, I mean, that is the most corrupt thing any public official has done. He should be arrested. Now, this other story about not giving the kidney transplant to the unvaccinated dying woman. I mean, have you seen her on TV, Steve? Yeah, in Colorado, she's not vaccinated. They won't give her the kidneys. I've never heard in my life of people not getting organ transplants because the hospital or a doctor doesn't agree with their lifestyle or their decision they've made. This is I was talking about the Mickey Mantle liver, you know, thing earlier. I mean, this is they believe that she's MAGA, that she's a Trump person. That's who they think the unvaccinated are. They're wrong, but that's what they think.
I mentioned this before, but I want to say it again because it's very, very important. The thing to understand this thing in the depth, to get the big, what do they call the big picture?
Yeah.
These type of stories were all around all the time, and we, watching Fox, would get most of them. But if you're not a Fox watcher, nobody would know about it. The difference is now, and this is why the polls, Brian used to give me a hard time about the polls. He says, oh, people aren't interested in polls. As you watch the support for Biden disintegrate, which is basically, that's the right word, disintegrate, we're hearing these stories now. The press all of a sudden is starting to function like it used to because they realize that Biden is so corrupt. I mean, I guess it's a combination of corrupt and stupid, whatever that is, that the press now feels free to spread these stories and expose them when in the past they didn't. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
And he can't stop the flow. It's like they cut an artery and he's bleeding out.
Well, it's not like he's having a bad week. He's having a bad life. I mean, everything he does turns to crap. And we're only 9 months in.
All he makes are bad decisions. And again, there's an example of it every day. Today's example, there are a couple of actually, but the one that comes to mind is this Marine. They decided they were going to pick a fight. They could have soft pedaled that and not put him in the brig and all that stuff. But now they have let it become the focus of national attention, and it exposes how tone deaf and how far removed Biden is from the mainstream thinking of him.
And he's about to wreck the economy. What he did yesterday with Janet Yellen. Now, first off, I don't know why they're doing this thing from the fake White House sets. Have you noticed this? They got these fake White House sets that Biden's been doing things on that look like the White House, but they're not at the White House. Very weird. And there was an event yesterday, which I'll talk about, with Yellen and Biden. And he talked. When it came time for questions, and they were about to go to Biden, the White House feed went dead, went to black. They cut it off, the White House feed from the fake White House. But anyway, Biden was up there with Yellen yesterday, and Biden said that a loser. She's an economy wrecker. Biden said yesterday that if we don't do what he wants to do with these bills, the budget and all this stuff, that there's going to be a recession. When does a president tell you, if you don't do what I want to do, there's going to be a recession? That's going to cause a recession. And this thing about the banks, Yellen was bragging about it yesterday. She can't wait to monitor every transaction that's made, which all the experts I've seen on TV say that this will cause people to go to the banks and take out all their money. And again, you've seen It's a Wonderful Life. The banks don't have enough money. Well, Steve, that's what caused the Great Depression. In 1929, the banks, the Great Depression was caused by a lot of things, but one of the big factors in 1929 is when people went to withdraw their money, and the banks didn't have enough. And that's when they used paper money. Today, everything's digital. They'll run out of money in 5 minutes at the local bank branch. And are they trying to cause another depression?
Well, you would think so, based on some of the decisions they're making.
Maybe they are.
Think about hiring, wanting $10 billion, whatever the numbers are so humongously, almost hard to conceive. But it's just unbelievable that they would say, we want $8 billion or whatever it is to hire IRS agents to hassle you more and take more of your money. Vote for them?
Exactly. And did you and investigate you?
And again, it's the same point that you got to focus on. It's becoming public. In the past, in fact, up till recently, they never even mentioned this thing. Press is focused.
You know what it is, Steve? You know what it is? Remember when in Obamacare they said we got to pass it to find out what's in it? This bill's been hanging out there so long, we're finding out what's in it before, and they can't pass it. And the longer things,
They're used to getting the cover from the press, so that's why they've gotten away with so much. But now, no more protection from the press.
Well, Biden has a solution. He did come up with a solution: the $1 trillion platinum coin.
About that, I wanted you to go into depth about that.
That seems so stupid of an idea. I was embarrassed to bring it up to William Youngerman, but I guess we should. Okay, well, we'll talk about it now. I did find out a little bit about it though, but but we got a break. I looked at the clock. I want to tell people though. People ask me quite often, how does Friendly Tire get their tires at such low prices? How can they sell tires at such low prices? And I'll tell you why. I've been a customer of Friendly Tire for over a decade. I had a 4-wheel drive Jeep Wrangler. Never buy one. They suck. Okay, the putting the top up and down is the biggest nuisance. It's worse than hanging up wallpaper with your wife. Okay, trying to put the top up on a Jeep Wrangler. But it had those big tires, and it was really cool till I needed the new tires. And I called around, and they were so expensive, I couldn't afford them. I found Friendly Tire, and I went over there for used tires. And Mike said, "Do you want new or used?" And I said used because I just assumed. And then when I went back another time with my wife's car, I said, well, what are the new tire prices? It blew my mind. This is how he does it. One, you're basically getting wholesale prices. He deals directly with the distributors, and he doesn't mark his tires up like these other companies do. What is that old saying you guys have, Steve? Profit in pennies?
We're back. That's right, our family.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Profit in pennies, and that's part of it. The other thing is, right? Doesn't mark them up like these other places do. The other thing, he doesn't add all these other added charges that the other tire companies do. The prices we give you in the commercials you hear, when we give you the lowest prices of the other places, those are the lowest prices we can find with Friendly Tires prices. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Unlike all the other tire shops, Friendly Mike, he doesn't charge you to balance the tire. He doesn't charge you to mount the tire. And he doesn't charge you to dispose of your old tires. That's the other reason. That's how his prices are so low. So listen, you're not going to find new tires this low anywhere, I promise you. He also has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 on most sizes, okay? And these are very good used tires. I bought used tires there myself, like I told you on my Jeep when I first found him. The number, he'll give you a quote right over the phone, so call him right now, 954-977-9445. He has all the brands you know and love, Goodyear, Firestone, all of them. So you can ask him right over the phone. He'll give you a quote right then and there. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back after this break.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Okay, we are back. I'm Brian Steve here. Okay, so this $1 trillion coin. Janet Yellen, she talks like she is the dean of the Soviet School of Economics, but she's the Treasury Secretary. This is what they're talking about with the $1 trillion platinum coin, Steve. This is what they were proposing. Are you with me? Steve? Earth to Steve? Okay, I thought I lost you. Steve and I are in separate locations, okay? He's at his home studio about 40 miles from me, so I can't see Steve, so, you know. This is what when I first heard this, I thought $1 trillion in palladium, because palladium's around 1,000 in the 900s and stuff, you know. That's a lot of palladium. How big would that coin be? Right? I mean, it'd be like the size of Broward County. And I don't know, and I know that palladium is 15 times rarer than gold. So I don't even know if there's how much palladium there is on the planet. So I thought, how is that possible? Well, they weren't talking about making a huge coin. This is what they were talking. I read an article about this. I couldn't believe it. They were going to take a 1 ounce platinum coin, print a new one up, and just put 1 trillion on it. Can you believe that? $1 trillion. That's what they were talking about doing. That's how
That sounds like reasonable economic.
Why don't they just get out an ink pen and on my $10 bills put a couple more zeros after it?
Cross it in. That's exactly right.
That's what they were doing. That's what they did in the Weimar Republic. Worse. And that makes sense. I know you're. I know. It's crazy.
They were talking about. They were going to the Treasury building.
Oh my goodness.
Helicopter to avoid. You know, they don't want to get held up.
How could how? I don't know how big the coin would have to be. I don't know, but you know, that's well. I remember once in Ohio, they have this. I used to go to this every year when I was a kid. They had this pumpkin festival, and they would have a pumpkin pie, like the biggest pumpkin pie in the world, and it was big as a room. You know what I mean? That's what I'm imagining this would look like. But this is scary. Everything they are doing, Steve, is so incompetent, so destructive. And this is the first time I've been following presidential approval polls. Never followed polls before, ever. And this one is like, it's like the how low can it go? And at least the poll is good news, because that means people are aware of how bad it is, you know? If he didn't have such...
Be the difference in the end.
Yeah. Now, I found out something yesterday that I don't have I don't know. Okay, Bob Reich called me, not the former Secretary of Treasury. Bob Reich, our friend, Bob Reich. Bob Reich called me yesterday, and he was very upset with me that I was criticizing One America News. And because I support what they do, and but they're boring. They're boring, and the people they have on there is just strange. That's what Bob said. Well, I found out something about them yesterday, though, that I thought was strange, very odd. The idea of One America News came from the parent company of CNN, the AT&T cable company. They conceived the idea of One America News, and I'm wondering, why the hell would CNN's parent company conceive of an idea of One America News? It doesn't. I don't understand it. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how that happened. Well, CNN is left wing as hell, and they hate conservatives. Why would their company be forming One America News?
Boom, because you came to the right place. I'm going to give you the answer. The reason that they did it is because they're business people, as with all businesses in a profit, in the American way, with the way we do things in this country. They're looking to make money, and they realize there's a need out there, because they realize that's US 1 is where America's head is at, not CNN. Okay, so they're counter programming. That's all. They're going where the need is.
Oh, I think you give them too much credit. What do
you think it is?
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I have no answer. I really don't. I do not have an answer. I wish that I did, but no, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. But this.
Except mine.
That's the only one we got, because I don't have one. This cargo ship thing that's going on. Where I saw a guy on YouTube on the beach in California, and he counted over 90 cargo ships just sitting there. And he had
Let me just tell you, let me put your mind at ease. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the backlogs and all this stuff they're talking about. It's all in the hands of Pete Buttigieg.
That's right.
In charge of the solution, it's going to be handled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like he's handled everything else in his life.
Exactly right.
What has he handled in his life? Nothing. Yeah, exactly. No, but this thing, exactly. Yeah. But this thing with the cargo ships. So I was watching this guy in California, though, and he was counting the ships that won't come in, and he thinks it's China. China controls these ships, and I did see Target and Amazon are chartering their own freighters so they can get around this. He thinks China is kind of like has an embargo against us. And that made some sense to me, that China is keeping the ships from docking, and the supply chain is
China is a bit...
Well, I guess they want something else.
Appear to me is on the payroll.
Yes. But the ships went... These ships like this guy, and I've seen some other people showing the ships offshore too, the freighters. You can tell they're fully loaded because of the water lines. Okay, so they're not empty. You don't see the red line, so that means they're heavy, low in the water because they're overloaded.
Terry, what is his title?
He's the secretary for Grindr, I believe. That's the gate for Grindr. Yeah, the secretary. Grindr is the gay online dating app. That's what. No, he's the Secretary of Transportation, and that's under his area of control.
So don't worry about it. Everything will be straightened out with the usual Biden official.
Nothing will ever be straight with Buttigieg, Steve.
I'm afraid you're right.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, but no, but there's a reason why those ships aren't coming in and unloading. It's either China's holding them back, as a lot of people are speculating, or it's by design. The guy actually went to the ports where that are empty, and this guy was watching on YouTube, and the longshoremen are there. They just got no work. Anyway, let's take some calls. Good morning. You're on the radio. All right.
FBI, CIA equals the new KGB. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, we're the new Russia now. We're falling into a dictatorship, just like.
Yeah.
Dictate to us what we're supposed to do.
Well, it's interesting you say that. When the Berlin Wall came down, for most of us, we think, oh, that was a great day. But not to Democrats. They had tears coming out of their eyes when the wall came down. And they've always been communist. The difference is they're out of the closet and acting on it now. That's the difference.
They're taking advantage of the way society is molding.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage of that because it's working for them. They got all these kids on their side, and you're pushing, and everything. You said it earlier on today's show. Everything that comes about now is now precedent, and that's the way it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have orders for this. No. This is the way it is now.
When I was talking earlier about this meeting yesterday with the Treasury Secretary Yellen, and I mean look at who Trump's Treasury Secretary Mnuchin was a billionaire, right? Who like self-made billionaire. What has she done? I think she taught college class on economics or something. What the hell has she ever done? Has she ever even used a cash register? I mean, she doesn't even know how to, and she's running the economy, teacher. And I think they want to cause a Great Depression because when the Great Depression happened, Roosevelt came in with all the government programs, and I think they see it as a. See, what's happening here is they're punishing the country for electing Trump in 2016. There's a lot of that going on too, There's a lot of that going on.
Into their plan.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Pocket. And so we're being punished. You're right.
Now what I'm wondering, this thing with the cargo ships that China's keeping them from docking, that China basically, what these cargo ships are? It's a strange thing. They have an embargo and it's a blockade. I mean, they have all these products out there that aren't coming in. And they're filled with every product you can imagine. And the economy, the retail economy is dependent on those ships. I've seen many store owners on television this last week saying that this is the time when they start doing their Christmas stocking at the warehouses, and the goods aren't coming in. And what I'm wondering is, Trump fixed the trade deals between the U.S. and China. They've not been corrected to their former corrupt, unequal places. And maybe they have this cargo ship embargo against us because of that. They want Biden to screw up the trade deals with them again.
Look at it this way. You got California, you got Newsom out there. He's got everything shut down, including the port. He's got most of it shut down.
But the wineries are open because his rich friends in Napa have the wineries out there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's allowed to keep open what he can.
Yeah.
And everything else closed. Like I said, I think that's all hand in hand. All this together.
That's right.
With Biden.
Yep. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, man. I know it's depressing stuff. Now, I got to tell you, though, sometimes this stuff, it can be stressful. It can be stressful, and some of you might think, how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night with all this terrible stuff going on? That's pretty easy. I got my MyPillow mattress topper. That's how I sleep well. You know, there could be an earthquake going on outside, and I'd be sound asleep on my MyPillow and my MyPillow mattress topper. Now, this is an incredible opportunity. Those of you that already have MyPillow mattress toppers, you know exactly how wonderful and how perfect they are. And I wake up every morning, Steve, and it's I say serenity, but I don't want people to think I've been in AA, because that's an AA word. But I wake up in the morning, complete serenity. I'm on a cloud, and I've slept the whole night through, and I'm so refreshed. It's amazing. And the great Mike Lindell, the Thomas Edison of sleep, is offering to Steve Kane listeners the MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. That's a better deal than I got. I got it for 30% off with the promo code Kane. They have this new special, and this is perfect for Christmas shopping season, and there'll be no supply chain problems because everything is made right here in the USA at Mike Lindell's Minnesota facility, all right? So no supply chain problems like these other things. It makes a great Christmas gift, and this is the time to get it. 50% off the all-time record low price on the MyPillow mattress topper for every size mattress, from twin all the way up to king, California king, and split king, and every size in between. Queen, RV queen, every size mattress there is, there's a mattress topper for MyPillow for it. So go to MyPillow.com, click on television specials. You heard me right, television specials. Using our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, 50% off the mattress topper. Great Christmas gift. And it comes with a 10-year warranty as well. 60-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied, but I know that ain't going to happen. You can also order by phone. 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. K-A-N-E.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. I Will Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. I Will Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. We needed a new roof, and we knew we needed a new roof, but we just procrastinated. We saw wet spots on the ceilings. We called Tom Laporta, and he came out. He did a free roof inspection, which he does for everybody, not just us. And sure enough, we needed a new roof. We had a mold problem. It was only going to get worse. He dealt with our HOA association. He fixed our roof. Not only did he take care of the roof, he took care of the ceiling stains. So they removed all the popcorn, they cleaned everything up, they painted, they sealed, inside and out. Everything is beautiful. And I have to tell you, when we get those hard South Florida rainstorms, it is such a pleasure to listen to the raindrops on the roof and not have to worry about it leaking or causing further problems. The staff was courteous. Tom answered every question. Call Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. He does residential and commercial properties, and his cell number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell him Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we're back 20 minutes before 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Steve Kane. Here it is, the Steve Kane Show. You know, Tuesday's a big day. You know what happens on Tuesday? William Shatner is going in space on Jeff Bezos' rocket.
I saw that. I was all excited.
Oh, I can't wait. You know how old he is. You know how old he is, William Shatner? Close. Steve doesn't like William Shatner. 90 years old, and he's going up into outer space. And if let me tell you though, if he doesn't make it back, Amazon's in big trouble. People will blame Bezos. But I'm so excited about that. You have no idea. Captain Kirk going into space. I know why. They keep asking him why he's doing it. And I saw him on an interview, and he says, well, I'll let you speculate on why I'm doing it. He's doing it for money. That's what they have paid. Oh, yeah. William Shatner is incredibly rich, and but he does everything for money. Believe me, they have paid him. He's getting tens of millions of dollars for this. And they probably tons of Amazon stock too. That's why he's doing it. Money, 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 money. It'll come out eventually. I'm just hoping like he takes his Captain Kirk uniform up with him into space or something. I'm very excited about that. But, oh yeah, I'll be in front of the TV on Tuesday watching. You have no idea. And the press conference after, it's going to be William Shatner for me all day on Tuesday. Did you see what they're doing in Australia, Steve?
Worse over. Australia is kind of what we're going to look like if we're not careful.
Well, what they're doing is they're having, I think, I got a story, I played this yesterday. Let me see if I still have it, because I wanted to play this for you. You weren't here yesterday. Let me see if I can find this. I know I have it. I just don't have it in front of me. But they have this thing, well, today's Thursday, right? So yesterday's Wednesday. Okay. They have a thing called a selfie check-in. Now, in Victoria, you're not like allowed to leave your house. If you do, they send the police. And so this is a local news reporter in Victoria, Australia, talking about the new selfie check-in in Australia. Listen to this.
Has gone out to everyone in home quarantine in Victoria to take part of our pilot program, and what that means is that they will receive random phone calls and they have to answer within 5 minutes with a selfie sent to this app, which will then geo-track where that person is, and to make sure that they are who they say they are as well. If they don't answer within that 5-minute period, that's when health officers come knocking, Pete.
Okay, so your phone will ring at random times. God help you if you're on the toilet, like cinema, or in the shower. Yeah.
Premise of the thing.
Yeah.
That you're required to stay at home.
Yeah.
Your home.
Correct.
Don't spread COVID.
That's even if nobody has it. And so when the phone rings, if you do not answer within 5 minutes, they send the police to your house, okay, to see if you're where you are.
It's not strange. It is the vision that Obama, boy.
Well, he's running the show, they say. They say he's running the show.
But that's the vision that...
That's the, yeah. A lot of people think that Australia is the Democrats in America. They're like doing a practice run for America. So when your phone rings and you answer it, and it's the police on the phone making sure you're home, you have to take a photograph of yourself in your house and with the phone, take that photograph, upload it to the government app. They do facial recognition to make sure you are who you say you are, and they also do a computerized geo-check of the photo to make sure it was taken in your home. And if any of those things don't match up, the police come to your house minutes later as if you're robbing it. I mean, they probably come faster than if you were getting robbed, frankly. And that...
Within near you.
Yeah, to another nation near you. And, you know, when Australia eventually opens up, they're probably going to have a mass... Everyone's going to leave Australia. I saw Russell Crowe talking about how the lockdowns aren't bad. He's in a mansion on a huge estate. You know, and if he was in like a... Yeah, if he was in a 1,200-foot... single-family home, 1,200 square foot home. And then he showed his watch collection that he buys a new watch after every movie, and the watches are like, as much as my house. But, that's not lockdown. That's not a lockdown, Russell Crowe. But that's what's going on. We have a lot of listeners in Australia. A lot of listeners in Australia. Yeah. I hear Brian at Wings Plus, when this is over, may open up a Wings Plus in Australia. We have so many listeners over there. But until then, we'll have to go to the Sample Road location, which is spectacular. And, they've been with us at Wings Plus on the Steve Kane Show. Oh, gosh, Steve. Over 10 years now. And everything over there is homemade. Everything is homemade. The soup's homemade and fresh. Clam chowder, lobster bisque, the chili, all homemade right there on the spot. And even all the wing sauces are homemade right there at Wings Plus on Sample Road. Nothing out of a can. They should put that on the sign because they say it with pride over there. And that's something, I didn't realize when Wings Plus first joined us, I didn't realize how significant that was. Most restaurants around town, everything's out of the microwave. Not Wings Plus. Everything is fresh. Everything is homemade, and you can tell by the incredible taste. And I think they have the best wings I've ever had in my life, Steve. Anywhere. I mean, they're just. Oh yeah. I usually get the medium hot. Steve likes the lemon pepper, which are out of this world. But they have dozens of different flavors of wings. I've had many of them. I've not gotten through the. You know what's really? Oh, have you had the teriyaki? Oh man. Out of this world. Out of this world. So listen, Wings Plus, and it's a place where it's a restaurant you can go to and have your MAGA hat on and know everything's cool. Because yeah, true, yeah, they do. And a DeSantis hat. And yeah, he does sell Make America Great Again hats over there. It's the only restaurant, Wings Plus, and I mean this, it's the only restaurant in America that I would go to with my Trump shirt on and my Make America Great Again hat on. Anywhere else, I wouldn't. Yeah, and they're located on Sample Road in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive, on the south side of Sample Road. And when you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, we'll be back with the Gold Report right after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. The 2021 hurricane season is upon us. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Brian Craig here. Advertising on the Steve Kane Show works. This is Scott, one of our sponsors from Cut My Kilowatts, talking about his experience advertising on the Steve Kane Radio Show. Hey Scott, how are you?
I am doing great, and Brian, I gotta tell you, I am on 3 radio stations, and you guys are doing better than any of the other 2.
That's amazing.
As far as getting new clients, it's amazing. It's been amazing. We did a lady from your show yesterday, and she wants to come in here tomorrow morning with us and tell everybody about it. Yeah, so we did her home yesterday, and then a gentleman, Darcy, just called in today and booked an appointment for next Friday. So it's been going wonderful. You've just gone above and beyond my wildest expectations. So much for all the great help with getting me the.
Well, that's what we like to hear. You hear that, guys? He's advertising on 3 radio stations, and we're doing better for him than the other ones. That's right. That's the Steve Kane Show right here. That makes me feel good. Oh, man.
Hey there.
Increase your company's business. Advertise on Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. Call me directly or Steve Kane, 888-465-2631. Leave a message, and I'll get back to you. 888-465-2631. And we'll be hearing about you and your business on the Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, we are back, and it's time for the Gold Report with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca Raton. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Good. How the metals looking?
Metals looking, well, they've been in the trading range recently for quite a while. That being about $1,750 to about $1,750. And yesterday we saw gold close up $2.60 cents at $17.63.10. That was up $2.60. Silver closed unchanged at $22.63 the ounce, while platinum was up $27.09.
Right here in Boca Raton. Give them a call. They open at 10 a.m. weekdays. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton, on the first floor of the Bank of America building immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. See that? More than's ever been mine, Steve. He said more than ever been mine. Well, that's Joe's great idea. Yeah.
Every $100 bill will be worth $200, and we'll sink that debt in no time.
You know, there's such a difference. You know, President Trump and his incredible cabinet choices, with a couple of exceptions in the Attorney General area, but he raised the bar on the American expectation for the president and cabinet members. And now you see these clowns that are running things. It's not that they're just incompetent, they are, but all the presidents and their cabinets have been incompetent before. Donald Trump just changed our expectation.
They're incompetent, and in addition to being incompetent, they're out of step with the American public. And that's all going to manifest itself, and the payoff will come in the next election. And that's why we got to get out and vote. We've never voted in mass before to take our country back.
You know, like I'm looking. So Janet Yellen, she's the Treasury Secretary. Now again, Mnuchin, President Trump, billionaire, self-made billionaire, right? Worked his way up, knows how business works, knows how to make money. Here, I just looked up Yellen. This is her biography, Steve. Janet Yellen is an American economist and educator. And an economist, you know, when someone calls themselves an economist, that means they've never had a job. They're a teacher. They have a PhD in economics and they think they know how things work. You know? And it's really, you know, there's a movie with Rodney Dangerfield called Back to School. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it. You ever see that movie? And what it is he's a guy I never doesn't have more than a high school education. I don't even think he had that. His son goes off to college. He decides to go to college with him, and he's like a successful self-made millionaire businessman. And he's taking the economics class, and he has these interchanges with the with the professor, the economics professor. It's a hilarious movie, but it tells you Rodney Dangerfield was a Republican to make a movie like this. An economist. Donald Trump was an economist. He took $1 million, turned it into $10 billion. You know, that's an economist, not someone who got a PhD in economics that never had a job and then became a school teacher teaching economics. I mean, that's crazy. Like, if you want to learn about auto repair, you want to learn from a guy who was an auto mechanic that actually worked on cars, not someone that has a degree in auto repair and has never worked on a car before. That's scary that these incompetents have so much power over our lives. Good morning, you're on the radio. Good morning. Well, how are you? I'm okay. Oh, here it comes, Steve. Yeah, yeah. You wish what? He discovered Roseanne Barr. He discovered Roseanne Barr. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish you was still here.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Take care. I wish he was still here too. I don't know what to say to that guy. What do I say to that? What do I say to that? I don't know what to say to that. You know, it doesn't give me much to work with. You know. Well, we're out of time. You want to sign us off?
That does it for today's program. But do not despair. We'll be back and do it all again starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. So on behalf of our technical director, Tyler Kane, my partner, Brian Craig, and also co-host, I'm Steve. See you tomorrow. God help America.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. I have the My Pillow slippers that Mike Lindell.
Hey guys, listen, I got to take off, but thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And before you go, like the video if you don't mind. Like the video, okay guys? Take care. I'll see you later.